Hey guys, Allie here. I'm just popping in to share a quick message with you guys. Just something that's been on my heart this week to share with you. I just want to talk to you guys about minimalism again. But in this sense, I just kind of wanted to talk to you about minimalism for the sake of being a minimalist and minimalism for the sake of freeing yourself up and living a life that is best for you and kind of making it work for you and who you are as a person. I've been practicing minimalism for over 5 years, and in the last couple of years, I've really noticed that it's become kind of a trend, which is great. I think that any voice for the sake of pursuing less is a good voice, and I'm so happy it's out there so much. However, I do feel like a lot of the main teachers in the minimalist community are kind of more about being a minimalist for the sake of being a minimalist. It's kind of like this legalistic approach to, oh, look how little things I have, and I have only this many pieces of clothing in my wardrobe. And it's kind of this like almost comparison game, and like people are simplifying just for the sake of like being as minimalist as possible. And for me, there's really no purpose in that. And I don't like to do things that don't have purpose behind them. And I think especially for mothers, minimalism needs to be so much more, and it is so much more, but not if you're going about it that way. And so I just kind of wanted to share a personal example just from me to you of how this kind of impacted me and what I learned from it, and hopefully just kind of refocus and inspire you guys. So like I said, I've been practicing minimalism for over 5 years. It was that long ago that I didn't really know minimalism was like a thing, and I was just really overwhelmed and figured out that my stuff in my house and the amount of time it took me to maintain was really the root cause of a lot of the issues that I was having as a mom, like my overwhelm and just the amount of time that I was spending cleaning all the time, just the amount of maintenance that my house required was really boiled down all to there's a gnat in here, my stuff and how much stuff that I had, that we had. And so, 5+ years ago, I kind of figured that out and started simplifying. And now, I teach it. I've been teaching it for years, and I love it. And so out of that time, I had kind of taken upon myself from other people, from being in the public eye, I guess, that I needed to be very, very minimalistic because I'm Allie Casazza, and I teach minimalism, and so I have to be like the most minimal so that I'm practicing what I preach. And I got into this mode of just like really kind of making myself a little unhappy by that code, by living that kind of code. And not really in any area except for one area. There was one area of my life and my home and my stuff that I was really minimal, and it was really making me unhappy. And that area was my wardrobe. So a couple years ago, doing this, I'm sharing this message of minimalism with other women, and I always would tell them, minimalism needs to work for you. You don't have to follow some kind of unwritten rules. There's no like secret code that we're following here. If something doesn't work for you, don't pare it down to the bare minimum. Then if everything else is pared down to the bare minimum, you can afford to have something that's a little bit more because that's what works for you. That's what makes you happy. And you're living your best life that way. But I wasn't taking that advice for myself. And how often do we do that? We say things to other people so freely and we don't take our own advice. And so I had a capsule wardrobe. I had a really limited wardrobe. Part of it was at the time because of budget. But as I kind of came out of that season of needing to have a really, not really being able to shop that much, and I was able to, and I wasn't because of being a minimalist. And here I was like totally not taking my own advice and keeping my wardrobe really simplified and like really like, slim pickings, because like I said, I am a minimalist teacher, and I'm Allie Casazza, and I have to have a small wardrobe because what kind of a minimalist would I be if I had this big wardrobe? And I started to get really, really unhappy with that. And it bordered like, it was almost a little depressive. I was really unhappy with that. Not in my whole life, but just when I interacted with my closet, with my wardrobe, I was just like, I am the kind of person that loves to shop. I love shopping. I love clothes. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, maybe another option would be something to do with clothes. I'm not a style expert. obviously, I just really enjoy the art of putting an outfit together and finding something that makes me feel so amazing. My husband and I go on date night pretty religiously every single week. And it's my favorite night of the week, not just because I get to spend time alone with him, but because I get to put an outfit together and actually get dressed up. And working at home and being a mom doesn't happen very often. And so getting to like walk into my closet and put an outfit together and pair it with the right shoes and match my lip color, my makeup to it, and just get really like dolled up and feel really beautiful. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. And having this really, really pared down wardrobe, at one point it wasn't even necessarily a capsule wardrobe. It just was really simple. It was really small and made me feel like, okay, like this is minimal, and I'm being a minimalist with my wardrobe, and I was just miserable. It definitely took me less time to get ready in the morning because I didn't have a lot of options, and that's like one huge perk of doing the capsule wardrobe thing, and that's why a lot of people like it. But for me, like that wasn't joyful enough to counteract the fact that I was just kind of unhappy with my wardrobe. And so I realized, recently over the last few months, maybe like 6 months or so, this is making me unhappy. And here I am giving all this advice. Like if simplifying something down to the bare minimum isn't making you happy, like the perks of it aren't worth it to you, and you just don't want to have that little amount of stuff in this area of your home or your life, don't do it. That's minimalism for the sake of being a minimalist is just legalism. And that's not where the sweet spot is. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to just be going through the motions, and there's no purpose in that at all. It's totally pointless. We don't want to pare something down to the bare minimum just to make life easier. We want to make minimalism for mothers is about making life more joyful. And I wasn't feeling joy when it came to my clothes. And it might seem silly, especially if you're not like me, you're not a person who enjoys shopping, you don't really enjoy getting dressed, you don't really care. You might even be kind of laughing at me like, that's the one area that I really don't care and I want to be super minimal. But that's not the point. The point is whatever area it is for you. I have a friend in the business who also, teaches this kind of stuff, and she has this massive collection of shot glasses that she got from her dad that they toured, traveled together, and they collected shot glasses. That was their thing. And he passed away, and she's got this big collection. It's big, and she lives in a tiny house, and she's super minimal, and she's got this big wall of shot glasses, and it's like, what the heck? Like, how is that minimal? And that's her thing. She loves it. That's her thing that she chose. I don't want to give this up. The memories are too sweet, and I can have this thing that's not minimal because the rest of my life is so pared down. It doesn't matter. And this is mine. My wardrobe is my thing. And so what happened was about 6 months ago, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I don't shop needlessly. I don't just go and walk around and shop just for the sake of shopping, but I love shopping. And so I decided I'm just going to keep being my normal self and keep my minimalist house and keep things running the way that makes me feel free and happy, and I have so much free time. But when it comes to my wardrobe, I'm going to do what lights me up and makes me feel really, really joyful. And so if I came across this circumstance where I could go shopping, or I needed to go shopping, or I needed something, I would go and I would do it. And if I found something that I tried on and it made me feel absolutely amazing, made me feel thinner, lighter, more beautiful, it made me just light up when I wore it, and it was in my budget, I would buy it. And not worry about the fact that it didn't go in my capsule wardrobe and I don't really need it, and just buy it. And so I did that for 6 months, and now my wardrobe is double the size, maybe more. And I am so much happier. Yes, it takes me longer to get ready in the morning because I've got a lot of options, but you know what? I don't care because I love clothes and I love putting outfits together. Even today, guys, I'm just wearing a baseball cap, a big oversized sweater, and Victoria's Secret leggings and Nikes. I was so excited to put my outfit together this morning. Like, it's not really about the clothes. It's just about the fact that I love them and I love getting dressed and putting things together, and it makes me so happy. And I was denying that part of myself for so long. And, I think a big part of it probably was just the pressure of being who I am and teaching what I teach and being, a public figure of sorts in this area. And that's not what this is about. And I was doing the opposite of what I'm teaching you guys and making myself miserable. And so the point of all this, and the reason I'm sharing this example with you guys, is Minimalism is about freeing yourself up and making your life better, making it more worth waking up for. And if something goes against that for you, don't just simplify it for the sake of being a minimalist. You can be a minimalist and have a big wardrobe. You can be a minimalist and have a collection of something that you love. You can be a minimalist and be super, super busy and have a really, really full, crazy schedule if you love being busy. It doesn't matter. There's ways to simplify everything. There is a way to have a very, very pared down capsule wardrobe that requires like almost no laundry, almost no time to get ready in the morning. And there's a way to do that with every single thing in your house and your life. That doesn't mean you have to do it, and that doesn't mean it will set you free and make you happy. For me, my kids don't really care what they wear. They're too little. They don't care about their clothes. And so for me, having their wardrobe super, super pared down really cuts back on my laundry and really, really helps me simplify, makes me feel free. I have more time. I feel less stressed. But for my wardrobe, no way. I need options. I love getting dressed. I absolutely love it. And I think the important thing is to find the border between, are you making an excuse for yourself to not simplify something that you know you need to let go? Or is it something that truly brings you joy and you don't want to minimize it? You don't want to be a minimalist in this area, but everything else can be that way. And you still have this amazing life full of free time. Our toys are super, super minimal. We have one toy chest that fits all 4 of my kids' toys, and we could easily get rid of a lot of them. They don't play with all of them. And we have this amazing life and playtime, and they're totally content and happy, and it saves us a lot of time. My kitchen is super, super minimal because I'm not a cook. I don't really enjoy cooking. I get in there and do what I need to do, and then I'm out. So I don't really care. But my best friend loves to cook and loves to bake, and she's got all of these kitchen gadgets. She loves Williams-Sonoma. She buys stuff from there all the time. She loves like investing in her kitchen, and that's her thing. Her wardrobe, she just couldn't care less. So what is your thing? Don't pursue minimalism and come here and like read the blog posts and do what I'm encouraging you to do for the sake of being a minimalist. It's pointless. It's legalistic. You're just following a routine and following the rules, and it's purposeless, and it's not going to last either that way. Pursue minimalism for the sake of setting yourself free and giving yourself a better quality of life, a life that makes you happy to wake up in the morning, happy to wake up and get dressed either in your full closet or your sparse closet, whatever fits your style, and that makes you excited to wake up, get dressed, and live your day. For me, knowing that the kids can't really make too big of a mess because we have like not a lot of stuff, knowing that there's not a lot of laundry for me to do, knowing that I have a big wardrobe with lots of options and I can enjoy my passion of shopping for great quality pieces that make me feel amazing, whether I really, really need them or not. And knowing that I can piece together an amazing outfit on date night just lights me up, makes me feel so good. This coming week, we're going on a trip out of state, Brian and I, for 4 days. I can't even tell you how excited and how many times I have thought about packing for that, because I get to pair different outfits together. And again, I'm not a crazy like fashionista. I don't have amazing style or anything. I just really enjoy it. And it makes me so happy. And I can't believe I suppressed that for years just for the sake of being minimalist. That's not what this is about. And I don't care what the other teachers and experts are saying. There is no purpose in pursuing minimalism for the sake of being minimalist. So find your purpose, find your sweet spot, and let yourself indulge in things that bring you joy. Some things are worth the space. Some things are worth the time. But ask yourself, for everything else, is this worth the space and time? If it's not, minimize it down to the bare minimum. And include your family in this. If something is worth it to your husband, compromise with him. Don't let this destroy your joy. Don't let it destroy your relationships. Minimalism for mothers is everything. It's so crucial and so life-changing, but don't let it destroy your joy. If you're feeling like this is really resonating with you and you love it and you really like want to move forward and you don't really know where to start, head to the blog. There's tons of archived posts at alliecasazza.com/archives. You can dive in and read and kind of find how to simplify the things that you want to simplify, and how to enjoy the things that you don't. And minimalism for moms is so different than the minimalism that's being taught in the documentaries that are out there. Minimalism for mothers is very unique and very important. Mothers need minimalism more than anybody else because what we're doing is important and it matters, and we don't have time to spare on stupid things and clutter that we don't need. If you feel like you're ready to dive all the way in, of course, check out my full decluttering course, Your Uncluttered Home. It's the A to Z of minimalism in every single room. And just know that the message behind that course and everything that I do and everything that I teach is this should work for you, not against you. It should free you up and bring you oodles of joy, not make you feel like you can't buy things and you can't live and you're stuck. So that's the message that I have for you guys today. I hope you find encouragement from it, and I love you guys.